How are we doing, everybody? You know the drill. Give me a sound check. I need to know that everybody can hear me. Can already see we got a lot of lovely people here in the chat. This is awesome. So you're going to have to forgive my energy presentation. If you can remember when I did my last live stream a couple of days ago, I said that I wasn't feeling well. Well, I've gotten a little worse. Not entirely sure what could be wrong with me, but I just experienced some body aches and some chills. No coughs. I can breathe fine through my sinuses, so I really don't know what I could be coming down with, and hopefully it's not anything too seriously. But we are here to see who is going to win the JFlower JF10-10F playing cue that I reviewed. I've already seen a bunch of new comments come in for people that are super excited about possibly winning the cue. But I did a quick check on some of the new people that commented and looked at their channels, and I can't see your subscription list. So remember, one of the requirements is that I have to verify that you're a subscriber. So when I do the drawing, if I go look at your channel and I can't see your subscription list, let alone I can't see that I'm in your subscription list, you will not be a valid participant, and I will redraw somebody else at the point in time. So if you haven't done so already, please go and make your subscription list public. I really would hate to draw somebody that's actually sitting here in the live chat and they don't satisfy the requirements at which I put in order for you to be a valid winner. So please go do so. Okay, so as you can actually see my office. No green screen, nothing. This is basically where I do all of my video editing. Sometimes I actually do my video editing in my garage because I have a laptop in there where I can actually do my video editing. But here at this desk is where I do my actual job, my actual work. My work computer is actually sitting right over here, and then my personal computer is actually panoramic with 3 different monitors as the tower sits over here on my right. And typically I would actually have a green screen behind me. That's how you can see that I make myself appear in some of my APA pool matches or any of my pool coaching lessons, et cetera, et cetera. Just a simple green screen effect. Now, has anybody seen the 2021 US 9-Ball Open? Because I've been following it all the way to its conclusion. Okay, I can see some people are actually asking how do you make your subscription list public, so this is what I can do here. I'm going to turn this off, I think, and just quickly switch over to this. If you're at least on a computer, or maybe if you at least open up a browser on your mobile device and log into your channel or your Gmail account and go to youtube.com/account privacy, and you'll see here on the left side for privacy, and you'll see right here in the middle, keep all my subscriptions private, and you have to turn it off. And that's going to allow other people to see who you are subscribed to. And that's how I verify if you're one of my subscribers. So if you haven't done so, please do so. Like I said, I would really hate to see that I would pick somebody that does not satisfy the requirement, but they're here in my live stream. Yeah, TRD Freddy, I was actually rooting for Yap, but I mean Carlo just straight up brought it. What he was down 3-8, and like up until the finals, I mean Alucius Yap just played phenomenally. To me it just seemed like he was the most consistent player leading up to the finals, and then just really couldn't hold it. And that just goes to show you that, that's what pool is all about. It's like you can play great all the way up until the finals, and then if you just can't control your nerves or just things don't go your way, then just everything can just shift. I mean, did y'all see how many times Carlo did not have a shot at the one ball with his breaks? I mean, like, that was ridiculous. And it actually makes me laugh because in one of my older videos where I was showing about how to predict 5 out of the 15 balls in an 8 ball rack, and people were wanting to comment that you can't predict the rack, like it's not possible to predict the rack. And like if you watch the US 9 ball open and just saw, like, at least for a 9 ball rack, how predictable it was. I mean, the commentators were telling you, watch this ball, watch how this ball keeps coming around, etc., etc. It all works the same exact way, and it's actually quite incredible. And that's usually what separates the good from the bad. Is, when you hear people say that the break is the most important shot, they're not wrong, because it really determines if you're going to break and run the rack on your opponent, or you're going to break dry and they're going to run the rack on you. But of course, on top of all that, you just have to have your game in place. Otherwise, it's not gonna. You have to be able to jump, you have to be able to kick, etc., etc. Now, what I would like to do, because I don't want to just draw the person and then just say that we're done. I want to try to put on a bit of a show here. So what we're going to do is I'm actually going to play the video that I asked everybody to watch. It's going to be the product review video. So when I actually do play the video, just give me a thumbs up in the chat if you can at least hear it. So I'm going to be switching over real quick. It's a 20-minute video, so we're going to go ahead and watch it all the way through its entirety, and then we'll actually go through the drawing and see who the winner is going to be. So let me switch over to this, and let's play the video.
What's going on, everybody? Little Chris here, and in today's video, I'd like to try something a little different. I get asked from time to time, what do I think about a certain pool product? Whether it's a playing cue, a break cue, a jump cue, a glove, even a certain type of tip, or whatever. But I always answer it the same way. It just boils down to personal preference. Things that I might like, you might not like, and vice versa. But I figured, after being asked these types of questions multiple times, I'd like to try to start a series where I can take a pool product, review it from an amateur pool player's perspective, and then based on my review, you can decide if it's something that you might want to try. So today, I want to try to review a pool cue. So this pool cue is made by JFlowers, and it's a $300 cue with a carbon fiber shaft. So let's take a closer look at it. So first, let's start with the butt of the JFlower 10-10F cue. It's made out of maple, and this one came with a black leather snakeskin pattern wrap. You can also get this wrap in a white ringtail lizard pattern, which looks something like this. Or you can actually get it wrapless, and that looks something like this, and it doesn't change the price of the cue. Now, to my surprise, these inlays are not inlays. They're overlays, or decals, if you will. And then we can see that the joint is a thread size of 3/8. Now, I know the first thing you must be thinking about is, why on earth would I even spend $300 on a cue that doesn't even have real inlays? Well, I can't really argue that. Not until I get to the carbon fiber shaft. But at least even for a decal design, I do have to say that I do rather enjoy the pattern that they put on this. Now here's the carbon fiber shaft for the JFlowers cue. As you can see at the bottom of the shaft, they have a small black collar, and then they engrave the JFlowers company name above it with an engraving of a two-piece cue below the company name. Now, I do believe that all JFlowers carbon fiber shafts are standardized. meaning that they all come pro-tapered. They're about 29 inches in length. And then when you get up to the tip, they're all about 12.5 to 12.6 millimeters in diameter. And they all come with a Mori medium tip. And as you can see, this tip isn't even chalked yet. So when I hit with this cue for the very first time, I can actually give you a genuine response as to how it feels. Because this is really going to be the heart of the review. Because as I said, this is a $300 cue that comes with a carbon fiber shaft. So if the decals in the butt of the cue actually bother you, just ask yourself this. Where else are you actually going to get a full cue with a carbon fiber shaft for $300 when the average price of your carbon fiber shafts is about $400 or more? So for the price alone, this might actually be worth it, just as long as it performs well. But before we get to that, let's look a little closer at the specs of the entire cue. Now, all JFlower cues come with a certificate of authenticity. That way you can see the model name, part number, and serial number of the cue, along with when the cue was actually made. And then you also have information about the butt and information about the shaft. Now, they also come in a case that looks like this, but I actually don't have one of these cases on hand because I actually have a bulk of these cues that I'm going to be reviewing as time goes by, and they just sent them to me in a bulk case. But do know that if you do decide to order a JFlower cue, this is more than likely the type of case that it's going to come in. Now, according to the certificate of authenticity, the butt of this cue is supposed to weigh 15.4 ounces. So let's check that out. And it looks like we're right on the dot, or at least close, 15.3 to 15.4 ounces. And then the shaft of the cue is supposed to weigh 3.7 ounces. And it looks like that's right on the money. So the total weight of this cue is going to be approximately 19.1 or 19 ounces. And I think the cues do range from 19 to 19.5 ounces. Now let's look at the length of the butt and the shaft of the cue, which according to the certificate is 29 inches. So let's measure that out. And I'm pretty sure that the length of the butt of the cue is considered from the top of the collar of the joint to the bottom of the bottom collar. And that is exactly 29 inches. But now if I were to include the joint pin along with the rubber bumper, then you get a length that's about 30.5 inches. So now let's take a look at the shaft, which I'm pretty sure that the length of the shaft is considered from the top of the ferrule to the bottom of the black collar, and you do get exactly 29 inches. But now if I were to include the tip of the cue, it looks like you get about an extra 1/4 of an inch for a total of 29.25 inches. Now, one last spec that I want to look at before I put together this cue for the first time and start hitting with it is going to be the tip size, which according to the certificate is 12.5 millimeters. So I have my digital caliper here to help measure this out. And it looks like we're pretty darn close. 12.51 millimeters in diameter. All right, let's put this together for the first time. We'll even check the balance point and then hit a couple of balls with it. Now, all of the cues that I own typically have the balance point right above the grip. And as you can see, pretty much the same thing. So this is really balanced well. Now, let's chalk this up for the first time. And let's hit a couple of balls. So let's just take it through some basic shots first, just so we can see how the cue feels. Now, everybody should know that I typically shoot with a 12.9 carbon fiber shaft, so this 12.5 is going to feel skinnier in my hands, and I can say I do feel the difference in the diameter of the cue. But I can't say from a shooting position, this actually feels quite nice. But let's just do a simple stop shot and see what kind of audio sound we can get from the hit. And that's actually pretty solid. Now, I use a soft tip, so I don't know if you can hear it, but I can hear a slight difference from this Mori medium versus the soft tip that I have on my cue. So let's try a draw shot. Give myself a little angle so I don't just draw it back into the side pocket. Nice solid contact. Can't really complain. Let's try some side spin. Try top left first. So give myself a little angle here. So I know this is going to be hard for y'all to assess through a video, but you'd have to judge by how the cue sounds. I can at least tell you how it feels in my hand, but of course, if it's in your hand, it might feel slightly different. Let's try a bottom inside spin shot. See if I can flare this cue ball 3 rails. I can honestly say that felt pretty good. But now let's try to take this through a deflection test. So for a deflection test, for those that might be new to the game of pool, we're checking to see how much the cue ball will deflect off of the cue depending upon how much side spin we hit the cue ball with using front hand English as opposed to backhand English. And if you don't know the difference between front hand English and backhand English, go check out my side spin on the cue ball video. Now, you should see that I have set up on my foot rail a tape measure, and I have another camera zoomed in on the tape measure to show you that the 1 foot mark, or 12 inches, is going to be the midpoint that I aim for. So when I use right spin on the cue ball, I'm expecting some amount of deflection to cause the cue ball to end up on the left side of the 1 foot mark. And so we'll be able to see by how much. And then when I use left spin on the cue ball, then I'm expecting the cue ball to deflect off to the right of the 1 foot mark. But as a baseline, let's hit the cue ball with no side spin, send it down to hit the marker, and have it come back and hit our cue. Now let's try hitting the cue ball with left spin and see how far it deflects to the right of our mark. Let's first start with 1 tip worth of left spin, and I do expect the cue ball to bank off of the foot rail and then head towards this corner pocket. Now from here, if I had to guess, that looked like about ½ an inch, but hopefully the close-up showed it better. Now let's try 2 tips worth of left spin, and I expect the cue ball to bank off the foot rail and head towards the side pocket. And then from here, that actually looked like about an inch. Now, after going back and looking at the footage, I saw that 1 tip of left spin deflected the cue ball about 1/4 of an inch. And then 2 tips of left spin deflected the cue ball about 3/8 of an inch. So a bit of a difference there between 1 and 2 tips. Now, when I try right spin on the cue ball, I'm hoping to expect the same amount of deflection, but to the left this time, provided that I can precisely use the same amount of right spin as I did left spin. So first, let's try 1 tip of right spin and see if we can get the cue ball to come towards this corner pocket. Okay, that roughly looked about the same. Hopefully the close-up will show better. Now let's try 2 tips of right spin. See the cue ball head towards the side pocket. And I think that looked about the same as well, so that shows a consistency about the deflection whether you use left spin or right spin. But now, let's try to break and run a 9-ball rack. Now, after going back and looking at the footage, I saw that 1 tip of right spin deflected the cue ball to the left about 1/2 an inch, while 2 tips of right spin deflected the cue ball about 9/16 of an inch. And the reason why there's a difference between right spin versus left spin is more than likely because I didn't precisely use the same amount of side spin, and or the possibility of me just not aiming as straight as I possibly could between the 2 tests. But one thing that did remain consistent was the difference between 1 tip versus 2 tips of right spin, which was relatively small. And that I do have to say is pretty good. Now, let's try to break and run this 9-ball rack. Okay, it looks like we got the wing ball to fall. Do have position on the 1, but it's a pretty thin cut to the side pocket. You can see the cue ball is going to run into the 8, so I'm probably just going to use a little bit of right spin to make sure that I can get position for the 2. Okay, I have a small angle on the 2, so I can play this, I think, with just some top spin and get position for the 3 in the side. I can just roll this 3 in and have automatic position for the 5 in the opposite side. Now from here, I think I am going to play this with a little bit of center left so that when I hit the short rail, I can kind of spin towards the opposite side pocket to get decent position on the 6. And then from here, I can just gently roll this in for position on the 7. Now I'm going to try to have the cue ball more than likely play 2 rails, 1, 2, to be able to play the same shot on the 8 and be able to go 1, 2 for position on the 9. I'm going to play this with some top right spin. And then from here, I can pretty much do the same thing, but with top left spin. finish off with a 9 in the corner. And that's going to wrap up my review of the JFlower JF10-10F playing cue. Now, I do have to say that this cue plays really well. And considering that it's only $300 and comes with a carbon fiber shaft, I can certainly recommend this to any beginner that is interested in wanting to try out a carbon fiber cue. Now, does this cue measure up to the cues that I normally play with? Personally, I'm going to have to say that it falls short. But that's only because I prefer to play with a 12.9 millimeter carbon fiber shaft with a softer tip, which is why I always say that when it comes to owning pool cues, it just boils down to personal preference. Because a lot of you out there like to play with specs like these. Now, is this something that I can adjust myself to playing to? Well, of course it is, because it's no different than how I adjusted myself to playing with the specs that I do now. But don't take my word for it. Try it out for yourself. Literally, try this cue out for yourself, because I'm going to be giving this cue away to one of my lucky subscribers. Now, the way this giveaway is going to work is, like I said, you have to be one of my subscribers. So if you haven't done so already, subscribe to the channel, but be sure that your subscription list is public so that I can verify that you're one of my subscribers. Give this video a thumbs up and then leave a comment in the comment section below. Let me know what you thought of the cue throughout the video and what you thought of the tests that I put the cue through. Are there other types of tests that you'd like to see me put other cues through? And then something a little different that I want to try with this giveaway is that every dollar of this cue I feel is worth 100 views. So help me share this video around and get it up to 30,000 views. Because the moment this video reaches 30,000 views, I will go live and then randomly pick one of the comments, and that will be the winner of this JFlower cue. Now, if for any reason you can't wait until this video gets up to 30,000 views, you can certainly go and check out their website at www.jflowerscues.com. And until the end of the month, you can use the discount code LILCHRIS, LILCHRIS, in all caps to get 10% off of your purchase. So now a $300 cue is only worth $270 plus shipping and handling. So if you like what you saw here, as a reminder, subscribe to the channel, give this video a thumbs up, and then leave a comment in the comment section below, and then help share this video around to get it up to 30,000 views. Take care, everybody.
Okay, so there you have it. That is the JFlower JF10-10F playing cue. Now, I saw that there was a bunch of questions flying by as that video was playing, so I can attempt to answer some of those questions. The big one that I saw immediately was, how do I aim with side spin? I am particularly now a backhand English user, so that means that when I place my bridge hand down, the tip of the cue typically starts right in the middle, which is where I can do all of my aiming for ghost ball aiming. And then all I do is move my grip hand around, either pull it closer to my body to apply outside spin or right spin, or move my grip hand away from my body so that way I can pivot the cue to put left spin on it. Because then when it comes to just applying top spin or bottom spin, all I'm doing is just raising and lowering my bridge hand. So that's how and by doing so, I don't really have to adjust for cue ball deflection or cue ball squirt whenever you use backhand English as opposed to fronthand English. So that's why when I did the deflection test, I was using what's referred to as fronthand English, which means your entire cue shifts over both your grip hand and your bridge hand, whether you go to the left or whether you go to the right. And when the cue flexes, that's what causes the deflection to actually occur. So when you're on the right of center or right spin on the cue ball, the cue ball actually gets deflected to the left. And if you're on the left side of the cue ball deflects to the right. That's how that works there. Let's see here. Is there any? I thought that I saw a couple more questions before I move on. Yeah, that was Bill Brower's question that I was trying to answer there. So I hope that answers your question, bud. Bill Brower, you're also asking, why do I break from the side of the table? So if you're not aware by now, I mean, when you play 9-ball with a template rack, you're getting the perfect rack, right? Every ball is touching, so like you don't ever have to worry about any gaps that are inside of the rack. And so when you have a template rack, all you have to do is just break from any side of the table, and the wing ball from the side that which you're breaking from is going to go into the corner pocket almost like 99.99% of the time. And then when you're not using a template rack, you pretty much have to employ a cut break from whatever side that you're going for, because that'll at least help reduce the gap effects that can actually have inside of the rack and still try to help guide the wing ball to go into the corner pocket. It's not guaranteed, but it does help. And then you can also, with the cut break, try to guide the one ball into the opposite side pocket from which you're breaking from, which is why I typically break from the side. Okay, so what we're going to do here is I'm actually going to do a demonstration of how this is going to work. And so I'm actually going to use a different video so that way no one gets excited like, oh, I got picked, so therefore I should be the winner. I'm going to show you a third-party software that's on the internet that can actually scrape the YouTube comments and actually select a winner, and that you cannot increase your chances of winning by commenting multiple times. If y'all follow me enough, y'all know that I'm a software developer and I can actually develop my own programs to do this myself. But using third-party software at least eliminates the possibility of me rigging my own drawing. So that's why I'm going to do a demonstration of how this works first. So what we're going to do is I'm going to switch over to this. And this is the comment picker software that I'm going to use. And so the way this works is I have to go get the video URL that I'm going to use, and the video that I'm going to use for demonstration purposes is going to be my last banking video that you see here. So you can see all the different comments that are on here. So what I'm going to do is grab the link address and then come back over here, and we're going to enter that link address inside of this text box here, and then say filter duplicate users. And actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave it unchecked first and then say let's get the YouTube comments. And according to this software, there's about 82 comments, and that's not including replies. You have to be a specific commenter. You cannot reply to a comment either. So let's see what happens if I filter out duplicate users, and let's see if the oh, you see it automatically does it. It drops down to 80. All right, so we'll just click this one more time just to be sure. And now we have 80 comments that this is going to randomly pick from. So this is the way this works. I'm coming down here, and I'm going to click this start button. You're going to see it filter through all the different comments. And so Scott Smith Music. And you can see here, he says there's a lot of great, that's great about this video, starting with the instruction and setup and the camera angles, the knowledge, fantastic. I grew up playing pool in my grandfather's basement, then bowling alley and pool halls down the street from me. I was addicted and played so much of it. I made my father mad, but it paid off. So here's how this works, though. I'm going to click on their YouTube channel. So here's their YouTube channel, and it looks like they have a video, so I'm going to stop that. And I'm going to go to this Channels tab here. And you see this? I cannot see who they're subscribed to. So therefore, this person would not be a winner. And simply put, I would just go back to here and just draw somebody else. Does everybody understand how that works? So let's go ahead and pick another winner and see if we can actually find someone that has their subscription list public. So Bob Henson, let's see if he's a follower. Ah, same thing. So you see how this is working? This is not a valid winner. I can actually see a couple of things that scroll by. Mr. Edit 1, this is my buddy actually. Let's have a look at his channel and see if his subscription list is public. Hey, look at that. We can see who he's subscribed to. And actually, I can see that my video is actually in the way, so I'm going to turn this off. And let's do this. So let's see where I'm at. Let's see if he's actually subscribed to me. We're scrolling, we're scrolling, we're scrolling. You can see he follows a lot of people. I haven't seen me yet. Ah, there's Chervary. That's my buddy. And typically what happens if I did accidentally scroll by it, I can just do a quick search once they're all loaded up and see where I might be at. There's good old Dr. Dave. Where am I at? It just goes on and on and on. Wow. Oh, I made it to the bottom. Let's see. I didn't see myself, so let me see if I can search for it and find me. Uh-oh. Am I not subscribed? Let's see here. Oh, it doesn't look like I'm there. Mr. Edit 1, we have to talk. How are you not subscribed to me, man? But that's how this would work. So you see now that there are channels to where I cannot see the subscription list. And then there are channels where I can see the subscription list, but I'm not in it. And so therefore, if I cannot verify that you're a subscriber, then you are not an eligible winner. And I will, whoops, and then I will draw another person. So is everybody clear on how this works? And again, if you're not familiar with how to make your subscription list public, you have to go to youtube.com/account privacy. Click on the privacy tab here on the left, and then you'll see keep all my subscription lists private, turn it off. So that way the subscription list becomes public. So let me turn my camera back on so everybody can see me. And we're going to go to the actual video. I will go ahead and refresh though, because it doesn't matter if this page is refreshed or not. The program will still just be scraping the comments as they come by. And you can see we got a couple of new people that are in. Quite a few new people. Because basically, if I haven't reacted to, like, there's the last comment that I reacted to. So quite a few new people that have at least commented and hopefully are valid participants. So let's copy the link address. Let's paste it here. Let's get the comments. Boy, 460 unique comments. What about if I filter out any duplicates? Are there any more? Oh, 486. All right, so it looks like some people, like, what is that? 26 people commented, or maybe at least 26 different people, or somebody obviously did comment multiple times. So we're going to filter out the duplicate users, and we have 460 of you. So let's see how this works. Are we ready, folks? Drum roll, please. Here we go. Click. West Love. Remember, hey, we got fish? Yes, but don't know whether you got a shark or a guppy. So let's go see if this is a valid winner. Are you in, West Love? Are you in the chat? We're about to check out your channel. You have no videos. Ooh, but we can see your subscription lists. Let's see if we can find me in here this time. Let me go ahead and turn off my camera again so we can see everything. Let's see if I'm in here. Hope I don't have to scroll for miles and miles again. Or should I just do a Control F and try to see if I can search for myself? The thing is like this is actually loading itself dynamically. So every time I get to the bottom of the screen, it's actually loading more channels in. So if I haven't scrolled myself into view yet and I try to search for it, it's actually not going to find it. So I kind of have to do this to make sure that at least all the channels show up. But we're searching. We're searching. I know everybody's crossing their fingers like, please don't find him in the list. Let's see here. Still going. Still going. Haven't seen it yet. Or maybe I already passed it. Lots of channels that he follows. Where am I at? Oh, I might have to resort to finding. Ooh, I hit the bottom. I did hit the bottom. All right, so there's that one. That one. That one. That one. And that one. Y'all are in luck. It does not appear that he or this person is subscribed to my channel. So that unfortunately means we have to go choose another one. And I'll actually look for LIL and see where that might be. Yeah, whoever Lizzie Lily is, that's the only one that actually shows up. So y'all are in luck. Eric Court, you're wondering why I don't just do a search, because like I said, when you actually show the channels that a YouTuber might be following, when you scroll to the bottom of the list, it actually pulls in more channels that are subscribed to. So it's basically loading their subscriptions on the fly. So you have to at least have them all loaded in before you can actually do a search, I would believe, because otherwise it's just going to search by what it has visible. And if if the channel's not visible, then it'll have to be searched again. Or that's why I'm at least scrolling through it. So at the very least, I could probably just try to just do keep jumping to the bottom of the list just to get it to flow back up and then try to do a quick search. But I think this makes it all the more dramatic, trying to actually just slowly scroll through and see what we can find. So unfortunately, Wes, like I said, you do not meet the requirements of being a valid winner, so I have no choice but to pick somebody else. So cross your fingers, folks. Here we go. We're going to pick another one. Danny Uttum. I hope I pronounced that correctly. I don't know if you're here in the chat or not. Sounds like a good cue for the price. Let's see if you're a valid winner. We're going to go to your channel. Uh-oh. See, this is I kind of feel bad when I see stuff like this, right? Because like I want the people that I select to be the winners, but if they're not satisfying the requirements of my giveaway, I don't have a choice, right? So I cannot see if Danny is subscribed to my channel, so I cannot say that he is a valid winner. Oh, 0-2, folks. Man, this, like I said, I feel kind of bad about this. But the show must go on. Let's see who the third time's the charm, right? Let's see if third time is the charm. Here we go. Click. Robbie! Thanks for doing this review, Chris. Excuse me. I've been wanting to try out a carbon fiber shaft for quite some time now, but they are rather expensive. I'm curious if they would sell the shaft separately so I could try it out with my existing playing cue. Either way, great review. I always enjoy watching your videos. Thank you very much, and I can actually tell you that they do sell the shafts separately. However, it's just a little bit more expensive when you order just the cue, or than if you just order the cue by itself. And I believe the reason for that is because they don't just produce shafts just to produce shafts. They actually just produce the entire cues to their entirety. So that way, that's what at least allowing them to be able to sell an entire cue for just $300. If they're going to just sell a shaft, they have to make just a shaft without the butt of the cue. And so if they're going to do that, there's just a slight upcharge. I think the price is somewhere between like $315 to $320 for just the shaft. So you might as well just go ahead and get the entire cue if you are going to go that route. But Robbie, let's check and see if you're a valid winner. Ooh, looks like you have a channel. 280 subscribers. You got some stuff here. Let's take a look. Oh, we can see the subscription list. So let's turn off my camera and let's see if I can find myself. There's Sharavari, Dr. Dave, Raleigh Williams, Tor Lori, another good channel. Ah, there I am. There I am. So, Robbie, congratulations. I will actually be trying to find your comment, and I will do a reply comment telling you that you need to get a hold of me. And actually, let's do this. Let's switch back to this and go to here. So, Robbie, you're going to have to get a hold of me in some way, shape, or form. You can either try to reach out to me on Facebook, on my Facebook fan page, Lil Chris Pool Player, or you can try to send me an email at lilchrispoolplayer@gmail.com. So, congratulations on winning the cue. Everybody else, I'm sorry that you were not chosen as the winner, but I hope you at least see what I did should be fair, right? It was completely fair. We had other people that could have possibly won, but they just don't satisfy the requirements of my giveaway. But do not unsubscribe to me because you didn't win. Please continue to follow the channel because this is not the only thing that I'm going to be giving away. I do have another cue review coming up here in the near future. And it will be another JFlower cue. A $300 JFlower cue. These are decals. Carbon fiber shaft, 12.5. I'll pretty much be putting it through the same exact tests. Probably try to add a little bit more content. I don't want to just keep doing the same thing over and over and over. But JFlowers is not the only product I'm going to be reviewing. There will be other types of products that I will be reviewing that will include other giveaways. So in those giveaways, all the criteria still applies. You have to be a subscriber. I have to be able to verify that you're a subscriber, etc., etc. So if you are upset that you did not win this particular cue and want to unsubscribe to my channel, please don't. I do try my best to try to provide good quality content that is both educational as well as entertaining. And then, of course, as a token of my appreciation, that's why I do these giveaways. And I really don't even know how many giveaways I've actually done. I've done quite a few because I did my first giveaway when I got 100 subscribers. That was a player's cue. I did another giveaway when I had 1,000 subscribers. I think that was a Predator Air 2 jump cue. And then I think I did another giveaway when I got to 10,000 subscribers. I think I gave away a Lucasi when I did that one. What else? I think I did a 50,000 subscriber giveaway or a 25,000 subscriber giveaway, and I think I gave away a McDermott. No. I did a spot shot challenge giveaway where, excuse me, you had to beat my old personal best, and the winner of that challenge won a McDermott Stinger jump break cue. I did do a 50,000 subscriber giveaway. What did I give away on that one? I honestly don't remember. But I just recently did a one pocket spot shot challenge where I gave away one of my poison jump break cues that I've won from the Cue It Up podcast virtual Ghost 10 ball tournaments. And I actually have a lot of those cues that I can actually still give away. So I'll be reviewing one of the poison jump break cues that I actually have in the near future. But first things first, I need to get better. I don't know if y'all can tell, but I'm actually sweating quite profusely right now because I'm just like so hot. I have a blanket underneath me because to try to keep my my body temperature warm, so that way I'm not shivering. But this will pretty much conclude the giveaway. So I hope everybody at least had a good time seeing the suspense on whether or not you were going to be the winner. I do apologize to any of those that did not win. But as I said, Robbie, if you are in this live chat, because I'm only glancing at it every so often, like I said, try to get a hold of me. Reach out to me either on Facebook or on my email address, and I obviously have to try to verify like who you are. I don't need someone trying to contact me and try to spoof that they're Robbie. So hopefully we can actually get past that. So that way the quote unquote correct winner is the winner of the queue. But I am pretty much going to sign off for the evening. Thank you so much for everybody that has been here. I hope that you guys enjoy the content that I create, and I obviously hope that you do learn things from the content that I create. So with this live stream here, if you like what you saw, give this live stream a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and be sure to click the bell notification icon so that way you're notified whenever I go live or publish a new video.